Greetings to everyone out there in YouTube land. I'm Ahmed Hassanin, and I just want to give a shout out to Coach Dan. Thank you for all the support you show the team and the players. Everyone hit the like, subscription button, and yell woo in the comments. Thank you, and go Lions.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live, Coach Dan, by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
Long have I looked into this game. Long have I peered into the heavens and asked myself, heavens, tell me what's going to happen on Sunday Night Football, right around 4:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the heavens have responded, telling the greatest prognosticator of the future football events for the Detroit Lions what will indeed take place tomorrow. I have foreseen Jared Goff throwing for 378 yards and some change. He's going to scramble for 11 yards on the ground, rumbling, bumbling, and never fumbling the football. Also, I have looked far and gazed from a distance to see the Detroit Lions have two receivers with 100 yards receiving. That would be St. Brown and Jameson Williams, in case you want to know. Write those down for your side prop bets. Also, Gibbs comes out of the backfield and catches 7 passes for over 70 yards while accumulating 90-plus yards on the ground. David Montgomery will find his way into the end zone once, twice, thrice, while the Detroit Lions defense will bat many balls up in the air and run down the field after they catch them to score 2 defensive touchdowns as the Detroit Lions secure perhaps one of the biggest NFL upsets of this season and propel themselves towards the playoffs. And I will say the Detroit Lions will record a 44-37 victory tomorrow. Mwah! Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. Hey, I want to thank Daniel Damas for coming on over today. I know he had to fly in, had a big appointment earlier yesterday, and came on over to give us the facts, Jack, about what's going to happen tomorrow. We're going to break down a whole lot of things. We all get it. This is Goff versus Stafford, number 4. This is a big opportunity. Rams win this game, they're going to secure a playoff spot. I don't know about their division, but they're going to lock down a playoff spot. The Lions, you win this one, man, the playoffs look like a real good potential situation for us going forward. And you look at the season, everything that's happened, everything that's kind of changed in the offseason, the injuries, switching of coaches, the whole shebang and bang. Lions get in the playoffs, they will be one of the NFL's most dangerous teams that nobody wants to see on their schedule. We're going to get into all of that. We're going to get into 5 headlines now. We're going to break down with the Duke Crew some of the thoughts that Daniel Damas had and analyze the facts, Jack, when it comes to this game. There's a reason why Sean McVay took to the mic 2 days ago and really threw a lot of compliments the Detroit Lions' way. We get it. Nobody in the NFL plays more 13 or 14 personnel than the Rams. They want to pound that running game at you. They want to also protect Matt Stafford, the former Detroit Lions quarterback. You know what? The Lions have one of the biggest defensive fronts in all the NFL. That's why I think McVay's paying attention to that. All right, real quick, before we get into the 5 headlines now, before we get into the main topic today, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, why the heck not? Hey, if you have it within your heart this holiday season, reach on over, hit that subscribe button. We're roughly 38 subs away from hitting 15,800. So if you can assist with that, man, you get a free, crisp, clean high five this holiday season. Also, while you're hitting the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button, hit all the buttons. We try to get every episode of the show between 200, 300, 400 or more thumbs up or likes. Last, never least, if you're considering buying or selling property anywhere in the great state of Michigan where I reside, give me a call, shoot me a text. You can be in the continental United States as well, 269-998-2384. have a quick conversation, what it can do to save you time, hassle, money, the whole shebang and bang. It can be commercial property, vacant land, new house, old house, anything real estate related. Go ahead and give me a call or shoot me a text, and we'll go from there. All right, with all that done, out of the way, let's get this show rocking, rolling, G.I. Joe going, and kicking off with 5 headlines now. Who doesn't like a little Daniel Damas foretelling of the future on a Saturday morning? All right, first one up, Lions Jared Goff interrupts reporter after repeated questions about the Rams. We're still talking about it, USA Today. I'm only bringing this one up because even though it's obviously a part of the thumbnail, it's always going to be there when Goff plays McVay, Stafford, the Rams. Let's also be fair that it's also getting old for both of the main quarterbacks involved with this. Matt Stafford's responses aren't incredibly different than Jared Goff. 5 years later, here's what we know. Jared Goff dealt with the first question or two about it, and then when the same reporter just kept pouring it on over and over, asking for more and more thoughts about, do you still get riled up? Do you still, have any kind of ill will or feelings? Goff was clearly over it. I'm sure most of you guys are over it. So let that matriculate down. Do they probably have it a little bit more circled on their calendar than if they were playing, say, like Stafford was playing the Bears? Probably it would be more impactful than the average game, but it's probably also not that big a deal anymore. The big one for sure would have been the playoff win for both guys. You guys understand or remember, I should say, Goff and the Lions won a close, hotly contested game against Stafford McVay just a couple seasons ago. That one, I'm sure Goff is going to remember forever. So will Matt Stafford. Stafford, he never really played with any of these guys. He doesn't know these coaching staffs. I mean, he's playing against the uniforms, I guess, when he faces the Lions. But even though it's going to be a big game tomorrow, I don't think it's going to be a big game because it's Stafford, Goff. Although, let's also be fair, they're both, athletes. They're both, highly skilled athletes. Neither one of them wants to lose to the other guy. So I guess that's my thought on it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. All right, nobody is considering who the Lions' two biggest weapons can sneakily be against the Rams. It is a sports story by Mikey Payton. Mike Payton might be right. I don't know if I fully agree, but I will say he's got an interesting conversation piece here. He's got Tom Kennedy and Jacob Sailors as being the two biggest, perhaps underrated people for tomorrow's game, and for different reasons. I think we can all agree Tom Kennedy's looked pretty dang good in the last couple weeks. Why he's been filling in, punt, kick, return, and some wide receiver. He brings a lot of flexibility to the table. When Amon-Ra St. Brown went down, we all talked about it during that live cast, the fact that Kennedy came in. He's not St. Brown, but he's incredibly similar in how he operates, how he gets open. I think he's going to be a part of this team the rest of this regular season. I don't know about next year. We'll have to wait and see, but there's no doubt about it. His coaches, his teammates have all paid attention to what he's doing on the field, and what he's doing is pretty good stuff. In regards to Sailors, I think maybe not as much as a return person as Kennedy, but in the running game, that's where I think he has gained some attention. Craig Reynolds was let go. Longtime Lions, favorite from most of the fans and coaching staff. Reason why he was let go, Sailors' emergence. Sailors has run pretty well when given opportunities throughout this season. And the fact that he's versatile enough to play some special teams adds to his value even more. It's my opinion. Mike Payton might be right that these two guys could impact the game quite a bit. Are they going to be as on the field as some of the other bigger weapons? No, but that doesn't mean their presence won't be felt. All right, next to the 5 glorious headlines. Now, I'm going to have a little fun with this one because you guys pay attention to enough media stuff, whether it's on YouTube or print media or whatever. Two Detroit Lions ruled out against Rams, 7 questionable. John Macron, SI.com. Now, you guys know the term clickbait. Here's how John Macron rolled out this story. He's obviously got these two guys listed, and who's he got in the photo for the two guys listed? 2 questionable, you get it. That's Taylor Decker. Now, Decker is listed as questionable. Yes. Is he out for tomorrow? No. And obviously, SI.com, John Macron, hey, he put Taylor Decker's face on that story or headline because he knew that it was going to draw some attention for sure. With that also being said, though, we do have some people that are going to be out tomorrow. You guys know the obvious names here. Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch, they're not going to play this game, and Branch is out for the year. Yes, they still have him on the injury report or non-practice report. With that also being said, he's not coming back. So, all right, let's get this up on the screen. Zylstra may be able to go tomorrow. We'll know later today if he's going to go. Zane Zylstra, you guys, if you've watched this show since preseason, you know my thoughts on his blocking ability. He doesn't have any, or at least very limited as a tight end in blocking assignments. As a pass catcher, though, I think he's an absolute win. He may not be Sam Laporta out there, but this guy's got some athleticism, and he can move around on the field. You do have to respect him as a pass-catching tight end. If he can get back right, then you know what? That's a big boon for the Lions. Lions also listed offensive lineman Taylor Decker with a shoulder, Yodi with a foot, Christian Mahogany, fibula. We'll see if he's able to go, but I think if he's not going this week, Mahogany, it's next week. Cleef Raymond should be back from that ankle. Running back Baki with the thumb. Hey, good thing he's got a second thumb, right? Safety Thomas Harper, concussion, still questionable, and ruled out our safeties, like I said earlier, Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch. So take your own thoughts on that, but I think it's mostly good news for the Detroit Lions. Nothing really big that we didn't anticipate there. All right, 3 burning questions. How are Lions planning to attack stingy Rams defense? Question mark, Benjamin Raven by MLive.com. The Rams, nobody in the NFL plays more deep zone coverage than the Rams. They are going to try to force you to go on long, sustainable drives throughout the entire game. They're going to keep everything in front of them and just pound your guys when they catch it in front of you. And again, repeat the process over the length of the field. Drive in, drive out. They're not going to give you kill shots down the field. What we can say is the Lions, they've been pretty good at shorter intermediate passes, so this could actually be one of the bigger advantages going into tomorrow. Lions are okay with taking their time going down the field. 3 yards on the run, 3 yards on the pass, another 3-yard gain here. You know what? If nothing else, you got 4th and 1. You know MCDC loves to go for it on 4th downs, so not the last week. With that also being said, the Rams in the red zone have been one of the NFL's best as well. Again, they play compression football, keep it all in front of you, tighten up the field, make you repeat the process over and over and over again. This is also why I think Dan O'Damas may have picked the Lions to win, because the Lions want to control the clock. They want longer drives. So it's an interesting dynamic for this game tomorrow. Rams want to force you into long drives and see if you can beat yourself. Lions want to go on long drives and control the clock. Who's going to give? Who's going to make some changes here? We'll have to see. I do think, though, the Lions are going to face some of the burning questions to point out in this article. How well does their defensive and offensive lines hold up? Rams, like we already talked about in this show in a little bit yesterday, they lead the league. Nearly 30% of their offense is in 13 or 14 personnel packages. What does that mean? The 1 out of the 13 or the 14 means how many running backs you have on the field. The next aspect, how many extra blockers at the line of scrimmage. Typically, that's a tight end, but not exclusively. It can be like an extra offensive lineman or something. So you do have a big dynamic there. The other aspect is the Rams have some speed on defense, especially their front 7. The Lions' offensive line, if it holds up as well as it continues or has continued to the last week or two, Goff's going to have some time, and zone coverage gets stretched out. You also heard John Morton earlier this week talk about the Lions playing more and more Canadian Football League. What does that mean? They really want to put guys up. You use the screens here as the sidelines of the fields. They want to get the receivers all out wide because you know what that does to zone coverage? It really stretches out. Now, if you can give Goff more time in the pocket, he will dice this defense up. I don't know how many yards are going to be put up tomorrow. It's ideal conditions, mostly indoor out in LA. There's not going to be weather elements per se. I think this game has one of the better opportunities to be the highest scoring game in the NFL this year, maybe even in recent years. Whoever's defense can make 1 or 2 plays throughout the game is probably going to help decide this game. Pay attention to this game. I think we're all going to be watching it. Yes, I'll do a live cast tomorrow for those who want to join. I enjoy it. Hopefully you guys do too. All right, last 5 headlines now. Detroit Lions don't really have an injury problem. They have a frequency illusion and perception problem. A to Z Sports, Mike Payton with this one. This is something probably all Lions fans want to pay attention to. We all say, man, we're so beat up this year. We're so beat up last year. It's true, but is it true? And that's where Mike Payton does a pretty good job of this story. The Lions have injuries this year, but is it egregiously different than any other team in the NFL? The analytics say no. Now, the problem for the Detroit Lions, though, you came off a year last year where you actually were in the top 20% of teams that had injuries. The big deal with a lot of this, though, how many of these guys would have played on the field? How many of them were really impactful injuries? There were definitely some for sure. But when you look at it from an X and O's analytics number, Mike Payton's conclusion is Lions are actually on par with the rest of the NFL with the amount of injuries they have. The problem is some of those injuries are to some of the bigger names like a Brian Branch or last year Aiden Hudson. You guys get it. Some of the big guns fell victim to injuries. That's where it's had the bigger impact for the Detroit Lions, unlike some of the rest of the NFL. You pay attention any given Sunday, somebody unfortunately is going to go down with an injury. And you know what? Just like referring to the team that I coach, we're 2 games into the season. We've been decimated by injuries, and we're not doing anything different than we've done the last few years. Sometimes you just step the wrong way, you cut the wrong way, and it happens. So, all right, with all that done, set out of the way, let's get on over to the main topic of the day. Let's face it, Lions get this game tomorrow. We're talking playoffs. All right, 1, 2, 3, main topic of the day. 3 weeks ago, you guys were a part of the Duke Crew. You guys understand? There were a whole lot of people saying it was doom and gloom. Asteroids were going to take out planet Earth. The Lions were fraudulent, this, that, and the other thing. Here's what we know. Let's start with the basic part. If you're a longtime Lions fan, you understand. You win one more game this year. It is the best stretch of Lions winning football since the 1950s as far as consecutive winning seasons. That's the good part, even though I get some people aren't going to look at it that way. The next part is Lions win tomorrow, they're going to be in the playoffs. Unless you think they're going to lose out the final 3 games, they're going to be in. They're going to have the tiebreaker over the Rams, tiebreaker over the Bucs, potentially the tiebreaker over the Chicago Bears. They're going to lose out the tiebreaker to the Green Bay Packers. Nothing you can do about that at this point. So with that being said, the Lions will set themselves up in a big, big way with a win tomorrow. It's not going to be easy, and nor should it be. These are 2 heavyweight teams. You shouldn't walk onto the field and say, hey, we're winning by 20. Lions may win by 20, but there should be every expectation this is going to be a slugfest. Matt Stafford, Jared Goff, we already kind of talked about it. I don't think any of them really care too much, maybe a little bit more than playing some unknown team. Maybe like, I don't know, whoever else you want to list on there. But is it a big deal to both of them or the head coaches? Absolutely not, I think, at this point. They're more worried about the wins. Lions, though, you understand you get this win tomorrow. It's going to be a challenge because your defense, your secondary is different. It will be the Legion of Whom or the Whom that defense, whatever you want to say. Why no reporters asked MCDC yesterday in his presser, man, how do you move on? And I'm paraphrasing here. How do you move on from Branch and Kirby? Is what it is. Kirby's been out basically 2 months now. You've moved on from him. Somebody else has gotten those reps. They've gotten better for it. That's your starting, free safety now. Branch, though, his versatility is going to be missed. The nice part is some of the guys you've brought in, some of the guys you already had in the practice squad, fill a similar role. They're going to do it differently. They're not going to do it the same. Doesn't mean they're going to be not good at all. Moving up front, the biggest issue, I think, tomorrow for the Lions, or question mark, I should say, is what does Kelvin Shepard do to try to slow down the Rams' running attack and Matt Stafford? You cannot give Stafford all day, whether you loved him in his time in Detroit or L.A., or you don't like him. Here's what I can say. You give any NFL quarterback 4 to 5 seconds, they're going to rip you apart. I don't care if it's Jameson Winston or Chuck Long. There's a throwback to years past for the Detroit Lions. Whoever it is, if you give them a clean pocket over and over again, they're going to be comfortable and they will dice you apart. They're not playing at the NFL level otherwise. Stafford, you guys also understand, he's probably going to win the MVP this year. So he, for 38 years old, is still playing elite level football. He's got 2 mammoth wide receivers that can run, jump, and bully ball their way down the field. It's not going to be an easy task for the Detroit Lions, but here's the good news. I think the Lions' defensive front, the front 7, and especially if they continue what they did last week, allowing the front 4 just go get to the quarterback. We'll trust the 3 linebackers behind you, perhaps the NFL's best trio of linebackers, to fill in the gaps and get the running back if need be. That's going to give a lot more pause to probably Sean McVay, because he's going to have to find a way around that. The Lions can stop the run early. They're going to be able to get after Stafford and get hits on him. Stafford, when he was younger, wasn't like an electric running quarterback, but he was mobile. He's no longer that guy, and you guys all know he's got back injuries galore. one or two good shots on him could really inflame that back. Now, he's not coming out of a game unless something's completely broke. Give the man his flowers for that. He plays tough. The Lions defense, though, this is an excellent opportunity to prove what you did in Philadelphia and some other games this year. It's not the asterisk. It's not the exception to the rule. It is who you're going to be down the stretch and in the playoffs. Lions offense, we already talked about the offensive lines looking better and better, and I think that's going to continue down the stretch here into the playoffs. Frazier, is he going to be the guy we saw last week? I think yes, but it'd be great to see it in another or third game or fourth game, because that would be confirmation. Miles Frazier, Christian Mahogany, Tate Ratledge, the Lions' future on the offensive line is looking real good. I'm not even going to mention Penei Sewell. You guys get it. If you don't get, he's a generational tackle at this point. You know what? Anything I'm going to say in this show is not going to change your mind. While we miss Sam Laporta, let's also say this has been a great opportunity for other people to emerge. When Laporta went down, what did that help do to Jameson Williams? It helped emerge his stock. It helped emerge his confidence, improve his productivity on the field. There's just simply more passes coming this way. And a more confident athlete, and I don't care what level of sports you're talking about, you gain more and more confidence, you become more and more deadly. And in my humble opinion, outside of one game, the Green Bay game, I think he's looked incredibly confident, incredibly developed. If he continues that tomorrow and down the stretch, this Lions offense, along with St. Brown being back, along with the emergence of Isaac Tesla, along with the emergence of wide receiver Jahmyr Gibbs, it may be the fastest unit in the NFL. We talked earlier about John Morton want to play CFL football. Well, think about all those wheels we just mentioned. All those guys can go. And if Khalif Raymond comes back and healthy, that's another dude who can fly. Spread the zone out. You know what? If they're going to send 5, somebody, and maybe everybody wearing the Detroit Lions uniform spread out on that field has got one-on-one situations, and you get that guy the ball in space, that guy's going to eat up some yards in a hurry. That's where I think the Lions offense absolutely could become the most deadly offense in the NFL. Nothing any coach can do can teach speed, heart, or size. Let me tell you, I've tried to teach size and speed to myself for my entire life, and it ain't happening. Lions have a gluttony of speed on that field. And if they're going to play, especially on turf, you could really cause just a multitude of problems for every defense out there. You got not just the Rams, but I think Pittsburgh Steelers, if you want to look forward a little bit, their defense isn't incredibly fast anymore, especially in the secondary. You can roast them up. And what do they like to play more than almost any other team outside of the Los Angeles Rams? They like to play zone. Minnesota Vikings, you guys also get it. You're seeing a trend here. The next 3 games are all zone-heavy teams that aren't the most athletic anymore, although I do think the Rams are pretty athletic. And with all that speed, you spread them out, Goff's going to be able to put up some numbers. Gibbs and Montgomery are going to put up some numbers. The Lions, I think, are being sneakily slept on for tomorrow's game because you look at records. Here's what I've learned to tell you guys. Here's why I tell everybody I coach, don't ever pay attention to record. Remember when we played the New York Football Giants, too many people said, hey, we should have won by 50 points because look at the record. They only have 2 wins. Look how many close games they have this year. Look how many fourth quarter blown 10-point leads they have. That team's got talent, but they can't get out of their own way. Detroit Lions are being slept on, in my opinion, nationally tomorrow because people are looking at the records and saying, man, look at the Rams record. Look who they beat. Well, how about we look at who they've lost to? Let's also look at the Panthers. The Panthers are a developing team, but what did the Panthers do? A ton of play action pass, a ton of run between the tackles. And you know what that did to the Rams' zone-heavy defense? They had to crowd more guys at the line of scrimmage, commit more bodies to stop the run. And yes, you saw Bryce Young tear them apart, especially on some 4th and longs. But when they got 4th and shorts where they went long. But when you've got to crowd the line to try to overly commit 8 guys to stop the run, it opens up the pass. Tell me this. Do you think the Detroit Lions love play action? You think Goff loves play action? And no disrespect to the Panthers, I think the Lions have a way, way deeper wide receiving core with way more athleticism than what the Panthers do. You force some of those guys from the Rams defense to be in one-on-one situations on play action pass on short yardage. I think Goff and this Lions offense is going to roast them alive. We'll have to see what happens tomorrow. The Lions could lose by 40. They can win by 1 million. But the game will be played. I think this is a great opportunity for Detroit to prove to the entire NFL they have turned a lot of things around. I get they've more or less played 500 ball the last 7-8 weeks, but you know what? No disrespect, some of those teams we've lost to have been pretty good. All right, let's get to the top of the screen and see what you guys have to say, and then we'll see if there's any breaking news later today. Michael, greatest salutations, Coach Dan and Duke Crew, exclamation point, one pride, woo, and back at you, Bo, good morning, Duke Crew, just do it, exclamation point, I like the way you're thinking, woo, and I'll go with that, Bo, if we lay it on the line, we triumph, I like the way you're thinking, Drake, good morning, all, we got this victory tomorrow, all Lions fans are going to be feeling a certain way about this team, yeah, we get that win tomorrow, we're all going to be feeling pretty good. Look at it, good morning, Duke Crew, one pride, of course we can do it, we got the grit, oh yeah, I'll take that, France, I feel for Stafford and Goff, it's always going to be judging each other versus how they do in these matches. Yeah, you knew as soon as this trade went down 5 years ago, they were going to be tied to the hip together forever. And that's just, unfortunately, until one of them retires, that's how it's going to be. Harry Moore, good morning, Coach Dan, the Duke Crew. What a team. What a podcast. Exclamation point. What a time to be a Lions fan. Woo! And good to see Henry. Just greetings, salutations, Duke Crew. Time to show some Lions pride. I like to have a little pride in the team. Hey, more good morning, everyone. We got this. One more day. Exclamation point. Yes, indeed. Drew, good morning, Dan and Duke Crew. Happy Saturday, fellas. Coach, you are right. Everything must be laid out on the field. And yes, Coach, we are going to do it. Exclamation point. Go Lions. I like the way you are thinking, Drew. Trey, what's good, everybody? The Rams have done a great job rebuilding after their Super Bowl and with limited picks. I like the job they've done. Yeah, to your point, Trey, they really have. I know for, 2 years, they more or less just had late round picks. But they hit on some real good finds there, including Puka Nacua. I know Brad Holmes came out and said, man, he really wanted him. There was somebody else they took instead, and then they were hoping to get him the next round, and then the Rams got him. And that's also why I think he made the bold move, trading up to get Tesla. I didn't want to see that happen to him. Look at France. All they need to do is have that time capsule Stafford retire. End of story. Might be true. Look at it. Henry Moore, Henry Grit, morning, sir. Man, can't talk today. Hey, Moore, the same to you, gritty friend. Hookadoo, Pat, morning, Duke Crew, and to you, Big Eddie. What's the final score going to be tomorrow? Question mark, 47-44 Lions. I like it, like indeed. David, good morning, Coach and crew. Back at you. Jess, D needs to step up big. I agree. If they can come up with a plan, get a couple turnovers, that's going to go a long way for us. Parents, Hookadoo, I wonder if this is last year. It feels like with Stafford, they've been talking about that for about 3 years now because the back injuries. Remember, he had some of those during Detroit. I mean, he's that body's been through it, and he keeps on going. He's kind of a Terminator out there. I don't know the way he's playing, especially if he wins the MVP. I won't be surprised if he goes, gets another 2-year extension or something like that. We're gonna do 34-24 Lions roar into the end zone. Susan, what do you got? Playoff football is here. It really is. We're going to do France, in my opinion. Yep, he hangs it up. We'll find out. I don't know. We'll see. Pat, Harper ready to go? That I don't know. We'll find out today. Johnny L., good morning, folks. Back at you. Conan, who's our starting secondary now? That would be a burning question for tomorrow. I do not have an answer for you today. We're going to do Grip morning, Johnny L., Trim River. Good morning, Coach Dan and the Mighty Duke Crew. Exclamation point. Let's go, Lions. Woo! Back at you. Pat, Grip morning, Hoodoo. Hassani Medley. Good morning, Coach Dan and Duke Crew. Which good weekend. Hopefully you're having a great afternoon in Cairo. Johnny L., back at you, Hookadoo. Queen Mary, good morning, Duke Crew. Back at you, Queen. 5 Bears ready. Does Goff still have emotions about this matchup? It doesn't sound like it, from what he's saying at least. Ken, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Exclamation point. What's the final score tomorrow? Question mark. I'm thinking 42-38 Lions. Exclamation point. Let's go, Lions. I like it indeed. Johnny L., good morning, Queen Mary. Hookadoo. Pat and the infamous Trim Reaper. Good morning, fellas. Jim, let's see the jumbo offensive line and a big pass rush. I like it. Hassan Manley, good morning, all fans, with a thumbs up. Dave, I need to see more Tesla. I think down the stretch, you're just going to see more and more of him. And maybe some other names will be thrown in there, but I think Tesla's a part of it. He's more or less assumed a lot of the routes, some augmentation, but a lot of stuff that Laporta would have done. You can also see where they've used that to their advantage, like the last game where they've assigned a linebacker to him and they wheel route them or curl route them out deep in the flats and up the sidelines. And just most linebackers aren't going to be able to handle that very well. Dre Day, the Rams are overrated. The Lions have the better quarterback, the better running back, only one better wide receiver, St. Brown, and most importantly, a better coach. Big win Sunday and on to the next one. I like it indeed, my friend. Carrie, morning, everyone. What can do? Mr. Hossein, the man, the myth, soon to be a legend. Good afternoon, sir. Queen Mary. Good morning, Johnny L. Hookadoo, Mr. Madley, Bo, Henry, and y'all ready for some football? I think we're chomping at the bit. String Theory on Sunday at 4:20 p.m. Eastern. Lions are going to take that belt to the Rams, but I'll take that. Queen Mary, good morning, Carrie. Johnny, good morning to all of you. Same to you. Jim, 12-5 to be the playoff bound. Yeah, 100%. And let that sink in. Let's just for a second assume we win tomorrow and we win out to get to 12-5. Coming off 15-2 to this with all the changes in staff, all the injuries, this, that, and the other thing. I'd have to say it'd be a very impressive year for the Lions as a whole. Okay, morning, Queen Mary. I was born already. Oh, yeah, I'll take that. Stephanie, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. Live for the challenges. This is a great one tomorrow. Yes, indeed. Well said. I feel like I've heard that somewhere. Carrie, morning, my queen. Great day. Stafford is going to no look past 2 picks. They should be grateful BB is out, or he would be sending Puka and Devontae to IR. Might be true. Tori Apple, my hope for tomorrow is to see Shep bring the pain down on Stafford. I think he probably will. At least I would think so. Henry Moore, ever ready, Mary, and good morning, Pat. The Lions are not in nobody's top 10, but if they win Sunday, I bet that will change. Let's flip and go. To your point, Pat, you win tomorrow. My anticipation is Lions would probably then be considered a top 5 team in the NFL, but that's also why I don't get really into power rankings because, man, it's like a popularity contest. I really doubt most of the people who put out their lists actually spend a ton of time analyzing each team and saying, okay, because this reason I'm moving there. I think they just say, hey, who won, who lost, I'm moving you up and down. And I don't know. Have your own opinions on it. What do? Feeling better today, Tori Apple will find out about the same. She says, Kingfisher, good morning, Coach and Dooku. No matter who wins, we're still in it. It's hard to beat a good team 3 times in a row. I'll take that. Johnny L, what's wrong, Tori? We'll find out. Dre Day, the Lions could be, and everybody's bottom 10 doesn't change how the Rams are going to get this Ford-made belt on Sunday. Okay. Hookadoo. Well, maybe some Lions Talk Live will make you feel better. I'll go with that. Steve Rogers, good morning. Johnny, 5 headlines now is in coming up. It is indeed, or was. How about that? Sir, Conan, if Harper can play, it'll be Harper. Maddox in the back, Reed and Robinson corners, then Raquel Singh, Whiteside, Hollett, and have forgotten about Dorsey. Yeah, don't forget about Dorsey, man. I haven't heard much about him lately since he's come back from that injury, but he can play. Johnny, Sunday afternoon, the curtain will be going up, and Detroit Lions are going to shine. I like it indeed, my friend. Silver, and a good morning to you all. And back at you, Charles. We definitely can do it. 0 questions after last year. What can be done? Severe injury? Exclamation point. They should be more worried about us. Let's flip and go. I like it. I say, Mally, good morning, my friends. Mr. Hookadoo, Cynthia, Jim Board, Johnny L, Queen Mary, Smith, Big Eddie, all the above. How about that? Any more? A glorious morning to everyone. I wish you a speedy recovery, Tori. Hello, Mr. Hassani, Johnny L, Cynthia. Oh, there you go. See, Tom, if you put the pressure on Stafford, he will help us out. Let's hope so. Johnny L, good morning to you, Mr. Hassani, Queen Mary, Mr. Madley, I'm Queen and Mary Smith. All the above. How about that? Silver Server, Hassanin, glad to see Ahmed is keeping golf in check. Nothing wrong with that. Jen, good morning all. Tom, let's go Lions. Woo! And back at you. And more. My goal is to finish packing these Christmas bags full of presents for the grandkids so I'm free to watch the game. Get that thing done. You got to watch this game. It's going to be a good one, I think. All right, Miles Meyer, greetings, salutations all. Another day of snow, cold, and hot hopes for Lions victory. Let's have some hot hopes for victory indeed. Bo, did you miss the trumpet reference? There you go. John, what do you got? Good morning, Coach Dan Leducu. Back at you, John. Jim, good morning, Mr. Hassanin. Lauren, good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke crew. Woo! I won't be here long. Daughter has a basketball game today. Go Lions. Woo! Enjoy the game, my friend. Big D, great morning, my brothers and sisters. Daniel Damas was here indeed. Kim, yes, the Lions can do it. Exclamation point. They need to play a very aggressive, clean game. Indeed. Daniel Damas has spoken. Hey, wise words. Trim and Lauren, letting you know who was here. John, got my YouTube year in review. This is my #1 show. Love it. Hey, we love having you here, being a part of the Duke Crew. The Duke Crew, one of the nice things about it, it really is just kind of everybody hanging out at the water cooler, talking about Lions football. And, sometimes we talk about other stuff too. Miles Marco's laughing. Henry Moore, woo! It's Dan O'Damas. Hey, gotta love Dan O'Damas. What's up, Duke Crew? What's up, Professor Steele? Hopefully you're feeling better, my friend. Henry Moore, good morning, Professor Steele. Shine, what do you got? What about interceptions from Stafford? Let's try to get 20 interceptions on Stafford tomorrow. We do that. I like our chances indeed. Professor Steele, Henry, good morning. Jay, good morning, everyone from Fridge, Green Bay. Go Lions. Hey, man, it's got to be cold over there. And I know it's going to be even colder tomorrow. Okay, Bo, as in a fight the good fight trumpet reference. We'll find out. Joseph, 31-24 Lions. Hey, just win, baby, right? What do you got? 4-8-7, Detroit 44, LA 28. I would take that. Bo, lay it on the line! Exclamation point. Yes, indeed. Courtney, wow! Exclamation point. Damn, Thomas just read my mind. Laughing out loud. Pretty close. Hey, sometimes maybe everybody's looking at the same fortune in the future. I don't know. Brett, Frazier is a beast and will be a mainstay on the offensive line. Mahogany, better bust a move. Dare I say, Wally Pip? Here's what I think. I think it's a real good situation for Detroit. I don't know how they'll work it out this year, but I almost wonder if at some point Frazier becomes a tackle for you. Mahogany, Ratledge, the guards. And then you got Panesu, obviously another tackle. Find a new center going forward. All right, Ashley Medley, good morning, Silver. Wish you a nice weekend. Wishing you a nice weekend as well. Tom, boy, I really hope Dano was right. Me too, my friend. Professor Steele, editing today's Boss Up Ball Out podcast right now. Exclamation point. We'll check it out. We're going to do Miles Murray. So it's the Great White North today. Man, you're not wrong. It's cold up north right now. Cynthia, good morning, all. Exclamation point. Of course, they can do it. They got all the tools and weapons. We got two things they don't, MCDC and grit. Just got to believe. And yeah, you don't win if you don't believe, right? Hassan Madley, what do you got? Good morning, Henry Moore, Miles Marker, Lauren Lyons. Good morning, everyone. Exclamation point. Tomorrow is the game of the year. Time to prove who we are to all the naysayers. Go Lions, one pride. Woo! And back at you, Silver. And wish you a peaceful weekend to you as well, Mr. Hassanin. Yes, with some prayers. We're going to do, let's see, both those tunes. Well, got to love them both, right? Lauren, Professor Steele, glad to hear you're doing better. Yeah, it seems like Kurt's on the mend, right? Courtney Elsa had 3 sacks. One for Davenport, Alquin, Muhammad, and Hutch. Hey, wouldn't that be a trifecta? Tom, I don't always make it to watch it live, but I'll watch it afterwards. Your show is the only one I watch. The other ones I don't like too much clickbait. Most of them not true. Hey, and I hope you guys know I don't try to be rude towards anybody. I just thought, man, come on, SI.com. 2 Detroit Lions ruled out against Rams, 7 questionable, and you got Taylor Decker in there. I mean, John Macron likes to talk about he doesn't do clickbait, and then he does that. So it is what it is, man. I mean, hey, I have had people come after me. I hope John Macron, if he's watching or if any of you guys watch him, understand I'm just having some fun with it. I'm not trying to be rude. So, but I did laugh about it. All right, well, what do you got? Willard, what do you got? Hey, Dan, I heard there was a coaching job available at UMM. You should apply. That might be something. We'll go there. Let's see, Xavier. Great salutations, Coach Dan Durko. Hope you have a blessed day. Exclamation point. Lions can win this game, but playing a tough game. Yeah, and that's what you want, right? You want tough games. You want to force your players, your coaching staff, to learn under the fire, however you want to term it or word it. But you learn way more about it yourselves when you go through that, winning, versus just blowing somebody out by 50 gajillion points. Professor Steele, Lauren Van Esch, thanks, Kim. The Lions need to make a clip of stupid media questions. On second thought, it would be so long, no one would watch it. Everybody has their own thoughts. I get it about, some of the reporter questions. I've been a little surprised by some of the ones that, especially this year. I mean, sometimes, and I'm, again, not trying to throw shade at anybody, but sometimes I feel like the same guy asks the same question as this guy, and maybe they're all just reading from the same notepad. Flake Dogwood, I agree with Goff. I'm so done hearing about the Rams and Stafford. I'm a Lions fan, not a Rams fan. There you go. Well said, my friend. Dennis, good morning. Don Burr, finally get to watch a live show. Exclamation point. These work hours of mine are bizarre. Well, glad you're getting a little bit of a break, my friend. Hopefully you enjoy the show and have a good day tomorrow watching the game. Big D, yo. How you doing? John, I'm a Lions fan, but I love Stafford. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of former Lions in the league or guys that have gone on from Detroit play. I still root for unless they're playing the Lions. John, he played his heart out for us. He really did. William, if the Bears beat Green Bay, makes Detroit path to the playoffs a bit harder. It would indeed. The Rebel 08. Good morning, Coach Dan, the Duke Group. Back at you. Cynthia, good morning. Henry with an exclamation point. Silver Coach, this players don't forget anything. Stafford wants to beat Detroit badly. Goff is going back to his home state, to his old team, and to McVay. Rams looking like champs. Lions underdog. A game. It is indeed. Xavier, I hope Goff has a great game tomorrow. Exclamation point. Keep Stafford. All right. Blue Scar Blade, good morning all. Back at you, my friend. Still love the thumbnail. Thomas Sailors is a good player, but to have not great anything, just dependable. Yeah, very dependable. Dennis, Danny Lafana, good morning. The Rebel, Tom Kennedy is the truth? Question mark with an exclamation point. Sailors as well. Same old soup, just reheated. Tardy but present. Glad to see you this morning. Cynthia, good morning, Mr. Hassan, Queen Mary, Johnny L. Hoogadoo. Broski Bear, did you hear that Tom Kennedy is a former professional lacrosse player? True story. I wouldn't be surprised. For those who don't know, Jim Brown is in 2 Hall of Fames, maybe 3 by now. One of them is the Lacrosse Hall of Fame. The other is the NFL Hall of Fame. Broski Bear is in, says Lauren. Darren Mahogany is going to ball out because there will be focus on Gibbs. Could be indeed. Broski Bear, that was pretty cool. It is pretty cool, right, Lauren? A string theory professor, Kurt Steele, good morning. I hope you're getting over your cold. I think we all are hoping for that. Xavier, let us keep Stafford rattled and pressured. I like the way you're thinking. Thomas, I don't believe by now the Goff versus Stafford is a big issue. I really don't. It's 4+ years later. Exclamation point. I believe now it's just being a football player, not wanting to lose to anyone. Yeah, well said. Well said indeed, Thomas. Silver Server, Coach, concerned about Kirby long-term. Just a feeling. His injuries, no joke. Decker gets shot in that shoulder plate. Imagine how he is feeling when painkillers die out. No wondering he's thinking about retiring. So one at a time. I think Kirby's going to be fine once he has some cleanup surgery on the PCL and then goes through about 4 or 5 months worth of reconditioning or strength training on it. He's got to get to that, though. Decker, we've been talking. I mean, Server, I know you and I and the Duke crew have talked about it for a while. He's put that body through a lot. He's putting it through a lot just being out in the field. And I think the Lions coaching staff is just trying to find a way to get him through this season, and then they're probably moving on. That's why I think they're giving him so many off days during the season to rest up, to keep him as fresh as possible. But, in times undefeated, I don't care if you're talking about Muhammad Ali, Michael Jordan, whoever else you want to put on that list, man, it wears on everybody, especially when you're talking about a high-impact sport like football and one of the highest impact positions, that offensive line. Great morning, Cynthia. Carrie, in my huge opinion, after Sunday's game, the fan base is going to be taking to a higher level. There's going to be receiving a wake-up call to what has been here all along, a team filled with self-fortitude and grit. I think you are right with that, Gary. Professor String Theory, good morning. Darren Goff is going to destroy the Rams up the middle. Let's hope you are right. I think that he's going to chop them up quite a bit. I think the Lions offensive line is probably going to play some level of 12 and then 13 personnel, and then, yes, give Goff some time, let him chew. The Rebel, what's going on with Kirby? Just same old injury. It's that PCL. It takes months, usually, just conditioning, strength training, etc., to get it right again. And really, he hasn't had that time. He's almost at 2 months now. That's probably why he's looking mostly better. But as you guys know, he's had a little bit of a setback. I think it was, what day was that? Thursday? I don't know. It's hard to always keep him, right in my mind. Silver Server Broski Bear. So is Jim Brown. Good to know. There you go. Lauren Van Esch. Don't we have one of the best red zone defenses in the league? We're not bad. The Rams have been statistically a little bit better. The Rebel, run, Gibbs, run. Let's see if they do. Darren. What do we got here, Darren? Everyone keep forgetting that the Lions have the best offense in the league. They do. And I know it seems like we've been sleeping out this year. The Lions offense is the number one scoring offense in the NFL. Woodscar Blade, TK85, has to make ends meet somehow. Only Dan here has many jobs. I do have about 8 different jobs, but I enjoy them all. So are they really jobs? Darren, Lauren, exactly. Pat, I think Gibbs will have a big game on the pass game. He will have over 100 yards in the air. Might be accurate. He has been emerging more and more. String theory. When I played semi-pro, our coach was an assassin. All we did in practice was hit each other. He had lots of injuries in practice, but not in the game. We were known for hitting really hard. Not about that. Art, what do you got? There will be a big weekend for a lot of teams in the NFL. I'm rooting for a lot of upsets. Hey, tomorrow morning I'll have a rooting guide for Lions stuff. Thomas, we must give LA severe dose of Knuckles and Sonic. Exclamation point. We control the ball 35 plus minutes and then using the rest quarterback, golf, play action, win. I like the way you're thinking. Darren, Pat, yes, I think the same thing. Mahogany will be in the rushing yards. There we go. Hey, Montgomery. Let's see, Hassey Malley, good morning, Broski Bear. Nice weekend, Broski Bear. What's your blade? Maybe Tom Kenny can catch up John Morton. All right, coach up John Morton. Mock draft, Donkey Kong, not just yet. Bootskar Blade, he might. Broski Bear, hi. Hassey Malley, always good to see you. Detroit, don't we have 16 guys on our eye? We might. I'm not sure off the top of my noggin. Don Burr, I've missed so many live streams. My job hours stink in December and January. The Rebel. The defense needs to be ferocious against the Rams. Let's hope it does. But I had Detroit winning this one. Lions 33, Rams 30. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good, close game. Let's see, what do you got, Shive? Last year was injury to defense and offense managed to win games, whereas this year we are less men on offensive side also. Okay, yeah, we've had some injuries on both sides. Hey, what's this? Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. And just for that, let's reward you with how about a 1, 2, and a 3 on your screen? And again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. Thomas, the key to our win Sunday, RD, exclamation point. They must keep LA under 30. Can they, is the question. Got to get to Stafford within at least 2.5 seconds, or he throws for 350 plus 3 touchdowns. Let's go. Yeah, I heard about the new injuries coach. Yeah, we've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids out right now, and that's a lot. Let's see, Lauren. 12 on IR list. Josh Pascal is not football IR. Yeah, correct. And I think we all get the story, even though nobody wants to talk about it. I think that's at least where we're assuming it is. Debbie Downers aren't great, says Hookadoo. Kim, do your job, and Lions got this! Exclamation point. I'll do my job at least. How about that? Don Burr, get to Stafford, rattle him. This game pressure matter. Move him off his spot. Yes, indeed. Thomas, my heart says Lions 38, Rams 20. My head says Rams 38, Lions 31. Or D can't hold up our heart, or go heart, indeed. Benjamin, it's going to take 45 points to win. Can the Lions do it? Ooh, inquiring minds will want to know, Ben. The Legion of Boom, and our D line will get to Stafford. And Monty is going to pound the rock for over 100 yards on the ground, and James is going to have a 100-yard game. Gibbs and Amon Ryan will have their normal games. All right, I'll take that. John, I read in 3 Rams comments that they think the Rams win, which hopefully don't. What the Detroit season over, which it wouldn't be. So let's just find out. Go Lions. Woo! I'll go with a woo for you there, John. Jake, game's on, right? Thomas, Ben, nowhere to be going 45, but we can still win if we keep away. All right. Gary, if the Bears beat the Cheddars, it will be because of the refs. Might be true. Did Jimmy Allen, what do you got? Greatest salutations, Dan and Duku. I want to say the Detroit Lions will do good tomorrow. I think they will do good tomorrow. Same old soup. Yeah, you can see TK85's lacrosse background when he returns kick punts. There you go. Don Burr, Bears play Cleveland. Hey, let's hope Cleveland beats them up tomorrow. Let's see, John, go Browns. I'm going to be cheering for them. Hookadoo. Browns play at 1 p.m. Go Browns. Yes, indeed. Mary, good morning. James, and I like that prediction. Carrie, Bears play Pack next. Jimmy, welcome, Courtney. Professor Kurt Steele, Waymo closing in on 1,000. Yeah, he's had a pretty productive year, I'd say. Thomas, guys, we beat Dallas. I get it, but exclamation point to say the D played great. We gave up 30 points plus our goal, give up 30. Our D is our problem. Got to show up big Sunday. Yeah, but to your point, Thomas, Dallas at that point was the number 1 offense in the NFL. So I guess here's what I'd say: if you could limit the Cowboys last week or in Dallas, can you do that to the Rams? And I get the only way to find out is see what happens tomorrow. King SJ, good morning, Coach and Duku. Back at you. Feels like it's been a hot second since we've seen you, King. Number, yeah, but no team should be overlooking Bears play Cleveland. Yes, Cleveland, I get. They've got a lot of injuries on their offensive line. That's going to limit them, but I think they're going to be somewhat helped by the temperatures. Jimmy, good morning, Professor Kurt Steele. Courtney, thank you, Jimmy. Professor Steele, Jimmy, good morning. Cynthia, our Lions will be tough and tenacious. With that being said, I hope we have minimal penalties and 0 injuries. Hey, there you go. Thomas, on D, exclamation, on pass plays, continue to bull rush the defensive tackles. Let the DEs do whatever they need to get to Stafford. Agreed with that fully. See, Carrie, they're going to dice up the frozen tundra. Let's say do all that to the frozen tundra. Server Jimmy feels that way. Let's be Lions strong. Sergio Lopez, what do you got? The entire NFL is watching! Lions will announce their window is open, alive, and well. Woo! I like the way you are thinking. Share, what do you got? Yes, they can, and yes, they will do it. I like it indeed. Moonscar, definitely would be nice to see our defense step up and limit some points, and therefore take pressure off the defense. Hey, there you go. I like that recipe, Moonscar. Miles Bar sure would like to see an opening drive TD by the Lions. I think we all would. String Theory, can I audition for a Lions Got Talent? I think you should. Moonscar, oops, pressure off the offense. Okay. Jimmy, Silver Server, absolutely with a thumbs up. Cynthia, Captain Jack will be a beast. Alquin Muhammad wants a sack repeat. Let's see if we can get another 3 sacks. Wouldn't that be something? Jen, when these teams see Detroit on their schedule, they adjust their team's playbook and they fight harder against Lions. Probably accurate. Bet our playmaker must make plays for us to win this game. They must show up. I think they will. Thomas, we have the talent to beat anyone! I agree. But our D has to play our absolute best or the year. Can they? Yes. Need 2 turnovers and 10-plus points off those turnovers. Let's make it 20 points off those turnovers. Chef, what do you got? Why is Lions defense so slow and a lot of opposing quarterbacks all the time? Why is Shep not made quick adjustments like Aaron Glenn? I think he made some adjustments last week. We'll see what it does this week. Rootscar, Stanford still owes us a pick 6. God knows he gave everyone else one. Yes, when he played here, he gave away a lot of those. Hassani Madley, we need Alquin Muhammad to be consistent. Yes, indeed. Gary, Cleveland's quarterback will have the most rushing yards and tutties for the game. Might be. Thomas Moonscar, ! Good take. There you go. Broski, Panthers' young wide receiver room is highly athletic. Tex and XL are not only big, but highly athletic. Gene Cooker is a big slot receiver and shifty and highly athletic. Jim Horn Jr. athletic. Broski Bear, Panthers. Okay, I think we got that. Yep. Thomas, as long as Raymond is out, we will see more Tesla! And I'm glad we're trying more to get him the ball. Yes, we are. But the opportunity has presented itself to him. Well, I think we all agree with that. Ted, one pride, let's go Lions. We have been in the playoffs since after Thanksgiving. We have this. Our team plays best when the pressure is on. You could be right about that. Henry Moore, good morning, my friend Broski. Jen, I'll say Manley, I watch Hutch, Alquin Muhammad, and 61 out there. Thomas, power rankings are for nerds. Watch the game. Free for all. Most people predict 12 wins this year. What no one anticipated was the rest of the NFC would be this good. Yeah, well said, my friend. Amy, greetings, salutations, Coach Dan, the ultra fabulous new crew. I hope everyone is doing well. CBS has the Rams. This is great because CBS, I'll pick the Cowboys. Laughing out loud, go Lions. Hey, something I did not know. Woodscar, have a good day. All got to run to the den and all-day cheer competition for the Red Wolves. Go Red Wolves. How about that? Queen Mary, have a blessed and safe day, guys. See you all in the morning. We'll see you then. Dr. Detroit, 31-29 Lions. Let's go. Broski Bear. Aaron Moore is pounding explosions. Thomas, big sleeper player, Davenport. He's done absolutely nothing so far. Let's pray that changes big. Yeah, if he could have a big game, that would help us big time. Thomas, smash the like, y'all. Smash the like, the subscribe. You guys get it. Hit all the buttons. Ryan, greetings, salutations, Coach Dan and crew. Very sore day from Grand Rapids. Hey, hopefully you're doing better than Ron. Let's see. Jen, glad to see Professor Steele back with an exclamation point. Extreme Shaft, 42-38. Rams, hope I'm wrong. I hope you are wrong. Daniel Damas said you're wrong, so I'm going to go with that. How about that? St. Thomas, St. Brown, 7 receptions, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns. JMO 5 for 80. Sonic Knuckles combined 150 plus, 2 touchdowns. Lions win with a thumbs up exclamation point. How about that? Carrie, Thomas Downer, trust your heart. Your mind is boggling. Stafford's going to get pressured and have no time for his reads. I like that indeed. Kill shot unleashed. New drinking game. Every time Dan Campbell says, while at the mic, you have to take a shot. Boy, we'd be having a lot of shots there, my friend. The Rebel, the defense has to get after Stafford. I agree with that fully. Ron, never been a Stafford fan. He can choke. Let's hope he doesn't physically choke on the field. Just mentally choke. The Rebel, this game needs to be led by the defense and running game. Yes, indeed. Derek, I'm California dreaming. Aren't we all? Ludell, Monty needs to be more involved. I wonder if it will be. Shiv, what do you got? The Lions scoring first drive that will show the direction of the game. Okay. Gary, everyone is going to be surprised how the D-line performs this week. It will be the main topic Monday morning on Lions Talk Live. It could be right. The way to foretell the future. Joseph just got my Trump trumpet. Man, I can't talk. April line ticket. All right. Well, I don't know anything about that, but good. Congratulations. Carrie, can you take me higher? Well, that sounds like a song. Hookadoo, Sweet Joe's. I realize that trumpets are still touring. I don't even know what you guys are talking about, but I'll trust your opinions. Sammy, go Lions to win. Woo! Joseph. Yep. Sterling Heights. Carrie, what a voice. All right. I'll have to check them out, I guess. Jen, going to check out Boss Up Ball Out with Professor Steele. See y'all there. We'll see you then. Carrie, happy trails. Stay safe. Enjoy your Saturday. Go Blue. Go Lions. Woo! All the above. Ron, Wrestling Me. Go Union Redhawks. All right. Coach Tony K. Some of you haven't seen the hot second. Hey, Coach and Duke Crew. Exclamation point. Happy Saturday. Broski Bear. Enjoy games tomorrow. There's a bunch of good ones. Yeah, I'll probably, doing some stuff in the background while having, Red Zone or whatever it's called on. I said, Manly, I hope the referee to be fair, especially in Vegas, gambling city. How about that? Pat, Coach, are you doing the game tomorrow? Yeah, I'll have a live cast tomorrow, man. I enjoy this stuff. Hey, more, have a glorious day, my friends, and I'll chat with you tomorrow. We'll see you then. Jen, have a wonderful Saturday morning. Best Lions podcast and people here. Hey, we have a pretty good group here, don't we? Motor City Paulie, if the Bears beat Green Bay and we sweep the Bears, there's a very good chance we could win the North and Green Bay would not make the playoffs. That's the scenario I'm rooting for. Wouldn't that be something? Trumpet. Yes, indeed, says Hookadoo. All right, well, I'll go ahead and get you guys out of here. If there's breaking news later today, get it to you as soon as possible. If you would be so kind before departing, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit all the buttons. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do something kind for someone you don't know. Be a good human being. And we'll see you guys all on the next Lions Talk Live. Hey, take care all. Have a great Saturday.